Oh, that's right. How you doing this afternoon? I'm Ann Eller, right here with Stephanie Turner. She is a horticultural agent for the Greenwood County Extension through Clemson University. And we are going to be talking about all kinds of events coming up and things to think about for spring. And I just heard about some type of spider, and I've heard all kinds of stuff. So I'm real glad Stephanie's here this afternoon to cue us in on a beautiful day that's 70 degrees that makes us believe that spring may actually be coming. How you doing this afternoon, Stephanie?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. It does make your heart feel better, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah. A little bit of sunshine today was just what I needed.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Now, let me ask you something. What do you think? I know that Titan Farms down there with their peaches, they have felt, everybody had been real worried about the freeze and everything, but they felt actually good about it, I think, is what I've read, because that means the crop should be better, right?
Yeah, they need so many days or hours of chill. Right. So
we had chill.
We had chill. And, it's the timing of those late frosts. And so when they're too close to fruit ripening and harvest, that's a problem. But this time of year, it's great. Everything's still dormant. They need those cold hours.
Yeah. So I think that could be a big thing. So what have you been doing? What have you been doing? I mean, we've had Stacy here. We've done a little canning live on the air and everything. What have you been up to?
I've just been, kind of busy at the office. We've had some trainings. I've been to the Small Fruit and Vegetable Conference in Savannah, learned some things there.
Now tell us about that. You were telling me that's a huge deal.
Oh, yeah, big conference. I don't know how many attendees, but they basically have tracts, several day tracts worth of classes for each small fruit you could think about growing. So they had blueberries, strawberries. They also had peaches, muscadines, all day long learning about those crops. And then they had some tracks for organic growers and vegetable growing as well. So broccoli day for, the broccoli, that sort of
broccoli
thing.
Day.
Yep.
Well, that's interesting. It really is. I think for so long, South Carolina, it wasn't a big deal about our fruits and vegetables. And then the state came up with a program about, buy local and this type of thing. And it really has, I think, made a difference.
Yes, and we have so much potential in our state to grow and almost all year round. So there's lots of great producers in our state that we should really be proud of and support.
Exactly. So we've got, so then what were you telling me? Back before Christmas, you were down at another place and saw some of these, you saw some type of hornet.
Yeah. So just went on a quick escape to Hilton Head right before Christmas and was visiting the Camellia Garden over at the Discovery Center there and saw an unfamiliar little insect behind visiting the flowers, and I looked a little closer and I thought, oh no, I think that's one of those yellow-legged hornets. And so I'm chasing around trying to take a picture. My family's like, what's wrong with you?
You're chasing a hornet. What's wrong with you? Yeah.
So, there's a reporting tool that Clemson has. I made sure to do that and report the yellow-legged hornet. And unfortunately, that area is now a little hot spot for sightings of those. It's a non-native hornet that attacks honeybees and other insects. And it's like it makes a nest like a paper wasp. Mm-hmm. It actually makes it in several different stages. So there's like a small nest stage and like a softball stage, and then it goes way up high in a tree somewhere and makes a huge nest with thousands.
And what does this does? It attacks actually the honeybees, doesn't it?
So yes, even though I saw an adult visiting a flower, the adults have nectar that they survive on, but they're hunting other insects to feed their offspring. And so they'll go and find, they do what they call hawking, and they hang out in front of the hive, the honeybee
hawking.
Hive. Yes, they hang out for the hive, and they swoop in and get the honeybees as they come in and out of the hive.
So it would kill the hive, literally, right?
They just take the honeybee, and, if they get enough honeybees, then, there's your whole colony. But they take the bee back to the nest to feed their offspring.
So what possibilities is there? Is this a real danger to our honeybee population? Yes.
It is, and that's why they want citizens' help in reporting if you see nests. Now, so far, we've only seen them in that part of the state, and then also there's been one nest seen in York County. So we all kind of need to be a little bit vigilant for that and keep our eyes open, especially beekeepers, because we don't want them to get established and get out of hand. So right now, Clemson is helping find and remove these nests to help us maybe keep this insect from spreading across the state.
But interesting to note, there is a spider that is taking over. Tell us about that spider.
Yeah, so I was on another trip last year.
Not safe for you to go on trips,
I can't
Stephanie.
travel anymore. I was on another trip last year to Ellijay, Georgia, and we saw quite a few of the Joro spiders. And it's really been in headlines, so folks may have heard of it before. It's in that family, the writing spider family. So if you have one of those garden orb weavers, in your yard, you've maybe seen those. It's similar, but it's non-native, again, from Asia. And it makes, I would say, bigger, stronger webs. So the webbing is much more difficult. So like if you walk through a web in the woods somewhere, you're going to know it. And it's going to be difficult to get through it.
It's going to attack you, and you're going to be stuck in the web, right?
Yeah, almost like that. And then it also, you can kind of tell it's their webs because they're so strong. They'll hold like leaves or small twigs. Get debris will get stuck in it, and they're a little bit larger and wider than our traditional native spiders. But they just have covered northern Georgia. It's really...
You were telling me about being somewhere in Georgia, and they were running down the telephone lines, right?
Yeah, so we were driving through an early fall day. Sun hits it, just right, and you can see it's just web after web after web spanning those telephone lines, up above your head, just packed in there as closely as possible. And the female's a very large spider, so it can also be kind of, put offish that way. They're kind of startle
like
people.
As big as your fist?
No, not quite that big, but yeah, about 2.25 inches long. Yeah.
Almost like
fat.
A tarantula.
Yeah, almost, yeah.
Yeah.
Then that's the female. The males are much smaller, but by the end of the season, they get to be big size. Thankfully, you and I were talking earlier, they don't seem to really bite us. If they do, it's not very strong or painful bite. And we had some grad students volunteer to do that.
Clemson.
To get bit, yeah.
Anything for a grade, yeah. Will this hurt bad? Okay, go ahead, hand it over. I need a grade. So what do they do? Why are they harmful?
So the concern is that they're going to displace our native spiders. So there's only so many good web locations, right, for a spider, and then also that they might consume more of our native insects, that are also struggling for other reasons, like our native bees or our, butterflies. It's non-discriminate, whatever comes in the web that's going to consume. So there's a concern about that as well.
These webs are not spun out of silk or anything good, are they?
Nothing useful that we found.
Yet.
A good question, but yeah, nothing useful that we found yet. And I have seen a few of them in Greenwood County this past year. So I expect we will see more.
Now, are they doing anything to remove them or not? You said Clemson was working on the hornets, but...
Yeah, this is actually too widespread, and there's really not a strategy that we have to employ to take care of them or to remove them. They're pretty much here.
Small BB guns?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, all right. Maybe a BB gun, who knows? I mean, you said they're pretty big, so yeah, okay.
I mean, you're welcome to stomp them, just know that they're pretty much here, and we're going to have to deal with it.
Wow. What's the Bradford pears? Mm-hmm. There's another one that's invasive, right?
Yeah, the Bradford pear trees, we brought them, planted them ourselves, intentionally. We thought they were beautiful and we thought they were sterile. They weren't going to make offspring, but unfortunately they do. And so this calorie paired offspring that's everywhere, it crowds out our natives. It also has huge thorns that puncture tires and ruin agricultural equipment. And so it's a huge nuisance that is now illegal to be sold in South Carolina. But again, the cat's out of the bag. So we're doing the best we can to remove them.
Right. Well, now that we've had this positive conversation about all the bad things going on here, you've got a lot of good things coming up, though. I'm amazed at how many programs you have coming up right now, Stephanie.
We do. We're very busy. We have a lot of programs going on. The Master Gardeners have been great, though, about helping me coordinate some programs coming up. So that's good. We're spreading the love that way. They have their annual meeting this week. It's Thursday night. So they decided to, jazz it up a bit and invite a celebrity speaker.
Speaker?
Yeah. So Jenks Farmer, folks may have even seen an article about him in the paper. He had a new book out, The Secrets of Southern Gardening, just recently released. And so he actually is a very entertaining and humorous kind of speaker, as well as has lots of garden insights in different areas. So he'll be talking about, I think it's something about like how the meadow is like a puppy. How to caring for a meadow is like caring for a puppy. And so,
I always thought a meadow would be nice out there, but you just crushed that idea.
I just ruined it for you.
Yeah.
And other sort of garden myths or debunking other garden ideas that people have that maybe are not true with reality. But he has a lot of experience. He's established some important gardens in South Carolina. Like
what gardens are they?
The Riverbanks Zoo Garden. He was one of the first folks to get in there and design that and make long-range plans, and also more botanical gardens. So more farms, botanical gardens. So
that's pretty huge.
Yeah, and right now he's kind of into bulb gardening, so you can buy crinum lilies from him. He raises and breeds different varieties and saves heirloom ones, so it's pretty neat.
That's cool. So is this open to the public?
So yes, it's Thursday night this week, Thursday night at 7. And it's at Rock Presbyterian Church. We do ask if you are coming, just give us an email, lakelandsmastergardeners@gmail.com.
Okay.
But should be good. He's a wonderful speaker, very entertaining. So that's one thing coming up this week. And then next week at the library, I'll be giving a lunch and learn talk about growing home fruit. So home gardeners that want to grow fruit.
Home fruit, yes. Mm-hmm. Now, at first I read it and I thought maybe it was fruit trees, but it's not. It's any type of fruit?
Well, I'll tell you, it is my suggested fruits for people to grow at home because what they want to grow and what's easy to grow are not usually the same thing.
So for what
So the top ones that we recommend that are easier for home gardening would be fig, muscadine, blueberry.
It's not too hot for blueberries, no?
No, we do good. Blueberries do good here. Blackberries are good too. So
I love blackberries.
Those are ones that don't have as many problems, right? So you don't have to worry about as much spraying and pest management. So people that want to grow peaches and apples and things like that, they're very intensive, to keep up with all the pests that they have. And so I generally don't recommend that for home gardeners because I feel like they'll be disappointed.
What about strawberries?
Strawberries can be easy, yeah, but they also have a lot of pests too. So it's kind of hit or miss.
What about those containers that they have that have the little things that come out on them and people put
little strawberry pots?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. They have strawberry pots. They have the little hanging bags. They're like a plastic bag you can plant the strawberries in.
Yeah.
They work. I've grown them in before. Or you can grow strawberries just in a regular clay pot. They'll start to hang out. Those drape over the side. So they're a good container plant, and they even have strawberry varieties now that are like dual purpose. They have pretty pink flowers, and then they have an edible fruit too.
But when can you start planting some of those things?
Strawberries or everything?
Everything.
Yeah. So Now through spring is a great time to plant. We actually could start planting some of these things, shrubs like blueberries and stuff, even in the fall. But you can still get bare roots and potted plants now. And so it's a good time. You could prep your area, prep your land, actually get your soil tested and get things ready and plant them before spring. We don't want to get too far into spring because it starts getting hot and then it's hard to establish things.
Oh, now what about, you said some of these fruits are easier to grow, but what about, the big pest, deer?
Well, deer is always an asterisk, right?
Okay.
Yeah. So you got to have a tall fence. If not, then,
Don't even bother.
Yeah.
Don't even bother.
Yeah.
Well, that brings up another question, though. The thing about testing your soil. I know plenty of people that say, I had it tested 5 years ago. I don't need to have it tested. Mm-hmm. What do you say, Stephanie?
Well, are you having trouble with whatever you're trying to grow? And are you doing the same thing that you did 5 years ago and expecting the same results and not having the same results?
Right.
So what happens with vegetable gardens in particular, people put the same fertilizer on every year after year, and things like your phosphorus and potassium can accumulate in the soil. Mm-hmm. And so if you're putting it out every year, you may not need it every year. And so you get to a point, you're wasting money, but you're getting to a point where you've now made it excessive. And when it gets excessive, it's like a traffic jam, right? So that nutrient gets in the way of the other ones. And so then you have problems. So I recommend, minimum every 2 to 3 years, you should get a soil test. If whatever you're growing is important to you.
Right. So. If it's not, if you want to kill it, keep doing the same thing. You know what you're saying? Yeah. Yeah. But, a soil test. Now, tell us how to do a good soil test and how much it costs and where you take it and everything.
Okay. So if it's for your lawn, those grass roots are shallow, so you only have to take a sample of soil to 2 to 4 inches deep. And you're taking a sample that's like a slice of cake. So you want some of the soil all the way down to that 4 inches, some from the top all the way down. And you're going to do that in 6 to 8 spots. And say you're taking a sample for your front lawn, 6 to 8 spots scattered around your front lawn. And we mix those together to make what we call a composite sample. So it's a good snapshot of the whole area by taking some from every little spot. And that only costs, we need about 2 cups of that soil. And that costs $6. And we send that off to the lab. Takes maybe 10, 12 days to get back to you. So it's a very good $6 investment.
Right.
We tell the lab exactly what you're growing, Bermuda grass or vegetable garden or whatever it is. And they return results that are specific to that crop. So it'll say not only what your pH is, maybe how to adjust it, but it also say, what to put out and when, as far as nitrogen and all your other nutrients. But I should also say if you're doing a vegetable garden or perennials or something else, fruits, then you're going to go deeper because those roots are deeper. So your soil sample is going to have to go down to 6 to 8 inches deep.
I think we don't sometimes appreciate all the things we have, like with the Clemson Extension Service. And I know there's one in every state, right, that is...
Yes, but we have an office in every county in South Carolina, which is, not the case in all the states. So we are blessed with that.
Now, where is your office?
We are 105 North University Street, which is in the old Brewer School. We share that complex with the Boys and Girls Club there off of East Cambridge. Yeah.
So it is well worth it. Now, is there any particular time that's better to do this soil analysis? Does it matter?
Earlier is better. So if you get a result that says you need to change your pH, that can take several months of that amendment to work properly. So if you're working on your vegetable garden, you should go ahead and get your sample done now. So you can go ahead and put out if you need lime, because pH is a big deal with soil too. So pH affects the availability of all the nutrients in your soil. So it either turns dial up, turns dial down.
Right. But just putting the same thing out every year isn't necessarily good for your soil.
No.
Right.
Right. So some of those things can get accumulated and then cause problems. And then also pH, we kind of always fight pH here because our soils tend to be a lower in pH, this orangey clay soil that we have. Yeah.
That's soil? I thought that was clay.
Clay gets a bad rap because it's hard to work with, but it does hold moisture and nutrients.
Right.
But it is lower in pH for most of us. So we do need to add usually lime. And so the soil test will tell you exactly how much to put out. And so that'll get
So
your
do you
pH.
need to know how big your yard is? I mean, if you're doing that, or the area that you're trying to work with?
So depending on the client and what they're testing for, the results will come back either per 1,000 square feet or per 100 square feet.
Okay.
Or per acre, if it's somebody doing, hay fields or whatever.
Right. So this would be a really good thing to be doing right now.
Yes. That was a great time.
That was a great time. All right. So, and you can take it over there to Clemson, $6, and they will come back and tell you what to do. Now, in truth, that should save you a lot of money.
Right. It'll keep you from putting things out that you don't need to put out, too. Save you time.
Right.
And also make your efforts the best that they can be, right? So instead of like shooting blindfolded, you can actually peek and look and aim.
Yeah. So they ever sent back one that said, "Sorry, lady, don't try to grow anything."
Too bad, so sad. No. I have had some results that are kind of off the chart on some things, and it is hard to, explain to someone how they got there. Or for them really to remember how they got there, because sometimes they just throw everything at it but the kitchen sink,
Right.
And then so you have to walk back with them. Okay, so what else did you put on it? Anything else? How did we get here?
Or I like everybody's helping everybody these days.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, or you read something on the internet. Isn't that really the case? Really, you read something, a friend tells you, "Oh, I had great results. I put this on my property," right?
Yeah. The internet is the Wild West. We have our own website for reliable information. So that's HGIC, which is Home Garden Information Center, hgic.clemson.edu. Or you can also, if you don't find it on our site, you can also use a Google search with the site:/.edu. I don't know if you've ever done that.
No, I haven't.
So when you want reliable EDU sources, you can specify what kind of site your Google returns will come back. So if I want to put tomatoes, I want to learn more about tomatoes, I could put tomato in the search bar, then the word site, SITE with the colon, and then .edu. And it'll only return .edu sites.
It won't return those ones that you go, "Wow, that sounds great."
Those 5-minute gardening things or whatever. They're horrible.
Yeah. Okay, so we've got coming up this Thursday is the Jenks Farmer, right? He's going to be here. And his newest book, Secrets of Southern Gardening. And he's supposed to be very funny, rebel misfit who turned Southern horticulture on its head. Now, that sounds interesting right there, doesn't it?
It is. He's very personable when he talks. He talks about his own experiences. He adds little funny stories and anecdotes. And so it's entertaining. I love when you're entertained while you're learning. It's a great experience, yeah.
Absolutely. So tell us again now, that's this Thursday, and where is it at?
At Rock Presbyterian Church at 7 p.m. And please RSVP if you can to lakelandsmastergardeners@gmail.com.
Okay. All right. So do that, and you go have a good time. That's at 7 o'clock on Thursday night. And he also has bulbs, right? Is that what you were saying?
Yes, he has a bulb. He sells bulbs from his farm. I think it's Funky Little Flower Farm, it's called, something like that. Yeah.
Funky Little Flower.
Yeah.
Okay.
The crinum lilies. They're really pretty.
Wow.
Pink and white. And yeah.
Cool. All right. So that's one program that is going on. When we come back, we're going to be talking about some of the other programs that are coming up. But right now, we're going to hear a quick word from our sponsors that make all this possible. You stay tuned right here on WCRS. We will be right back. If you have a question or a comment, 864-332 9355. That's 864-332-9355. Looking forward to your questions. You know, if you got a question for Stephanie, let's put her on the spot right here and see if she can answer it. I love that kind of stuff. No, not really. Hey, we'll be right back. But if you got a question or a comment, 864-332-9355. This is WCRS Radio. We'll be right back. That's right, WCRS and DQ want to know, who do you love? Tell us, and one lucky winner will win a red velvet DQ ice cream cake. Plus 2 lucky winners will win small blizzards. To enter, go to WLMA-WCRSradio.com/Valentine. Fill out the form to enter. We'll draw the winner of Who Do You Love on Valentine's Day 2/14. With love from DQ and WCRS, because love is sweeter with ice cream. So, who do you love?
At Greenwood Pathway House, we are a Christian ministry that helps people make changes in their life so that they can overcome homelessness permanently. Helping those who were living in Greenwood or Abbeville County at the time they became homeless, we provide residents with the support and training they need to build functional lives, obtain employment, and move into their own homes. Visit our website at gwdpathway.org or call us at 223-4460 to learn how you can make Greenwood and Abbeville stronger by helping people from our area overcome homelessness.
The Greater Greenwood United Ministry Free Medical Clinic is here to offer you or someone you know a medical home. If you don't have health insurance and are not receiving Medicaid or Medicare benefits, please call 864-942-0500 and choose option 1 for more information. GGUM Free Medical Clinic services include primary medical, internal medicine and gynecology, in-house pharmacy, women's health clinic, diabetic ed, laboratory, vision services, and disease prevention education. Again, call 864-942-0500 and choose option 1 for more information. Greater Greenwood United Ministry, offering a hand up to those in life and medical crisis for over 30 years.
There's no place like this place anywhere.
Hey, did you see Bob? He just tried a yoga class, upside down.
And Jane just swam 10 laps while juggling her water bottle.
Somehow, I feel like I belong here.
You do. This is the Greenwood YMCA, where everyone's having fun and everybody knows your name.
There's no place like this place anywhere. Come join the fun and make 2026 the year you belong. At the Greenwood YMCA, there's no place like this place.
Hello! Want to leave a voice message during a show? Have a news tip or event to report? Use the new WCRS tip line, 864-332-9355. Text or voice, I'll be sure to get it right here on WCRS. Again, 864-332-9355. Oh, that's right. That's right. We're right back here at WCRS Radio. At least I didn't do 10 minutes with the mic off. Hey, just 1 second. Not bad, not bad. I'm here with Stephanie Turner here this afternoon. She is a horticultural agent with the Greenwood County Extension Office through Clemson University. She is a really good person to know. In fact, all of the people over there, you may, if you tune in on Meet Me at the Diner, we have had Stacy Kirby on cooking stuff right here. We did a great job with jams and a nice knife.
Yeah,
knife
so
thing.
fun.
Yeah. So it is a really good place, and you could not do any better than to follow them on Facebook. What's your Facebook site?
Greenwood Cooperative Extension.
Yeah. So, but they're always putting out good things, and then you have a website too.
Yes, and our main Clemson website is Home Garden Information Center, hgic.clemson.edu.
So sign up to follow them. If you're into gardening, if you have a question, if you have a problem, give them a call, get that soil tested. You'll be really, really, really glad you did. So we are here with Stephanie Turner, and we've been talking about a couple of the things coming up. Now tell us again about the monthly Lunch and Learn. Let's see. You're going to be growing fruit first, I guess, on the 19th, right?
Yes, so at the library, Greenwood Library, from 12 to 1 on the 19th.
Right.
So you just go ahead and sign up with the library, call them, tell them you want to come, and it's a free presentation. We'll be talking about which are the easiest fruits for home gardeners to be growing. Of course, there'll be time for questions if folks want to get into the other fruits that
you're not really
more
going to be
challenging.
Yes,
so that'll be a good topic for folks that want to get involved with figs, blueberries, muscadines, blackberries. So,
I think that the emphasis that we're putting on home gardening has really been fascinating, how it's become so popular, and getting children involved in it too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's great to connect children with their food, and so they have a little bit of pride of raising it, and then maybe they're more likely to taste it.
Right, yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And one of the things, I'm asking, I don't know the answer to this question, will you still be doing the seed catalog over there at the library this year?
Yes, so it's still functioning, and actually the library is kind of taking it over themselves, and so we kind of got it rolling, and they've been taking donations, and so they do have packets that they will be stocked with, or probably currently stocked with right now. And so you can visit them and check out some seeds, but you don't have to return. Yes.
What a good way to use those old card catalogs, right?
Yes, really nice, and a good way to get people in and aware of their library's resources too.
Yeah, resources, seeds, of course. Mm-hmm. Who knew? So that's another thing, and usually sometime in the spring you do don't they, or the library may be doing it, where they do a seed packet exchange, or they've done that the last couple of years anyways.
So last year we really launched it, and so they had a big to-do event to launch it. But we've mostly been just doing the Lunch and Learn, and so, we'll go in there and do a little talk about growing vegetables. I think that's coming up in March, maybe.
Okay. All right. So we've got next week, February 19th, 12 to 1 at the library. And then you have another program starting February 23rd. What's that one?
Right. So we have a program that is called Home Horticulture Foundations. And the first, chapter of that is Lawns and Landscapes. And so this is a program, sort of like a boot camp for folks that really haven't taken care of their own lawn or landscape before, or for folks that maybe have moved here from areas that had different soil, different pest pressure, different climate. And so it walks you through the whole basics of taking care of your lawn and landscape in South Carolina. It's a 9-part video series with resources and other items attached to it.
So you get to do it at your own
You do it at your own pace. It'll be available from, if you sign up in February, all those videos and course materials will be available through May 4th. And so you'll have a month or so to go through it all. And
do they have any in person?
There's some field days attached to it, but they're both sold out right now. We have one planned for Erskine. We're going to go to Erskine College and do one in-person day, and then one's down in Charleston. And so be on the lookout, because this is going to be an every-year program. So if that's something you want to do, the field day portion, there will be opportunities again. Also, the next chapter of that is edibles and orchards. So Home Horticulture Foundation's Edibles and Orchards, and that's another 6-week video series. And that in-person class is going to be in Florence. So there'll be a workshop that is attached to it.
Now, you were telling me before we went on the air that this is really a Master Gardener Light program.
Yeah, so we often have folks that sign up for Master Gardener for the knowledge, but maybe not for the interest in volunteering. And so this would be a great pathway for those folks. They just want to learn the basics. They maybe don't need all the science behind everything. They just want to be able to do what needs to be done. So, yeah.
And they're mainly probably more interested in doing for themselves.
Right.
Right. Whereas, now, just for a little bit, what is the advantage of becoming a Master Gardener?
So the Master Gardener program is for folks that want to volunteer and share garden knowledge and kind of be part of this garden community. So there's a lot of camaraderie in the program, and there's a lot. It's like a horticulture degree through a fire hose, right? So it's a lot of information that comes to you so that you can, basically the program was hatched to help the local agent cover more ground, right? So these folks are knowledgeable. We train them up on how to answer questions that people might have, how to look for good answers,
Right.
And not get lost in the wild west of the internet. And so then they can go and share their passion with other people. And so that's what that program is for. It's not for a certificate. It's not for a badge. It's not for something to hang on your wall. It's for somebody that wants to give back to their community.
Now, those programs, are they a year or 2 years long? How long does a program take to become a Master Gardener?
So it takes the fall course. We have a course every fall in Greenwood. It starts in August. It takes about 14 weeks of class work. And then you have to pass the exam with a 70%. And so then after that, to become certified, you have to put in your first 40 hours of volunteerism where you are teaching others. And so that you have a year and a half to get that done, which is ample time. And so after you've put in your 40 hours, then you're certified as a Master Gardener. And so then annually, the Master Gardeners, to keep up their certification, they have to continue learning as well. So they have to have 10 hours of continued learning and then 20 hours of volunteer every year.
I think it really is a great program, and so many people really do enjoy what that program is. But then on the flip side, there's plenty of people that just don't want all that volunteering and all that extra work. So that's where this program you were just talking about, the lawns and landscape coming up, is so great.
Yes, so that's very helpful. It's at your fingertips. It's a video you can watch in the comfort of your home. So
more than once if you need to.
Yes, more than once if you need to. So that is useful as a tool for folks that just need that information.
Exactly. So that starts February 23rd. Is that right?
It actually started the 2nd, but we're still taking registrations through the 23rd.
Through the 23rd. All right. So and then what else have we got going on?
So the other thing I would say is that we had some Master Gardeners that really stepped up and took this mission of, expanding my reach. Yeah. They took that to heart. And so they've developed a calendar of monthly programs that you can come and attend for free at the Extension office. And so this year we've already heard about seed starting, and we have also heard from Jimmy McInville about crepe murder. Yeah.
Yes.
He says, "Thou shalt not commit crepe murder." And then this month in March, we're going to learn about how to start a meadow that works. It can be very challenging to start a meadow. And so one of our Master Gardeners that has worked through that process and done a lot of research on it is going to share everything she's learned. So, but the rest of the year we have some great topics coming up as well. So you can find all those on our Facebook page. We have the events already lined up so you can look through them for the rest of the year. But we'll be talking about native plants. well, in April and in May, we have Brian Smith, who's our ag engineering agent from Lawrence, and he's going to come talking about drip irrigation. He's going to demystify it, make it easy for people to understand how to have an effective installation of that. That's always a popular. We have that. He comes and speaks more in depth for our Master Gardener class, and that's always a popular class. People leave there feeling empowered to get it done.
Done, yeah.
And then...
Well, then we'll have the Flower Festival, right?
Yeah, and then so in June, our Lunch and Learn coordinates with that, and so that'll be a tour of Uptown Pollinator Garden. Yeah. So that'll be nice.
And I don't know, I'm asking this, I don't know, well, are they going to have gardens this year for the Festival of Flowers?
Yes, there'll be garden tours this year. There'll be private gardens, public gardens. It's all going to be that first Saturday of the festival. We are going to, I think, narrow it to one day. 2 days in a row is a lot to ask people to be, at their homes.
Chained to their homes.
Yeah. So it'll be just on Saturday this year, but I think we'll have a really good lineup of different homes that will be available for folks, and then also the public gardens as well.
Well, that sounds great. I think Greenwood is considered a pollinator city, right? A bee city.
Bee city, yeah. So we are a Bee City USA. Carla Coffey over at the city of Greenwood. She works in their horticulture department. She's our liaison with Bee City, and so Ann Barklow has passed the gauntlet over to her. So you may see her out and about. She was at the STEAM festival dressed up as a bee, teaching kids. And so...
Did she have a stinger?
No, I don't think there was a stinger. Yeah. That's funny.
I took Penny to the STEAM festival, and there was somebody dressed up as, I don't know, was it a dinosaur or whatever. And Penny just was like, get out of my space. Who are you? Oh. She was just wild about this. She just was barking at it like, who are you? Why are you here?
She's like, you are a threat.
Yeah. It was so funny. She wasn't being mean. She was just barking and standing her ground.
Oh, dear.
Yeah. But anyways, Ann Barklow as a bee buzzing bee. Now, there you go.
Actually, this is Carla. So Ann has passed it on to Carla.
Oh, now, so Carla was dressed up.
Carla's dressed up as the bee. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so they had a good turnout at the STEAM Festival, too. This year was really good. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Such good stuff. And, I just wanted to mention, we were talking about before we came on the air, what the De La Howe has become down there. I think a lot of people don't realize how, because I follow them on Facebook because they're always doing, and I had Susan Jones from the bee part of it talking about the bees and everything that they're doing down there. But it is amazing how they have transformed De La Howe down there as an agricultural school, isn't it?
It's really impressive, and they have a lot of applications. Students are excited to go there, and students that would never ever get the opportunity to work in agriculture just don't come from a family that has land or has raised cows or could have the opportunity to get into this field, and it's very exciting to have that opportunity for young people. There's no other way really to get into that with such hands-on experience. And large animals and bees
and such variety,
horticulture, greenhouse growing, pasture management, all the things that they're learning over there.
And a great pathway if they want to go to Clemson or if they want to, whatever direction they'd like to go. I think it's truly fascinating, and to take a school that was flustering, not having a direction and everything, to be able to turn it into a really impressive school is really, I think, quite impressive.
Yeah, and they're really learning real-world skills that they can go and
use. Yes, yeah. I had the opportunity down at the State Fair to interview a group of them. Very impressive kids, very impressive kids. So as we get ready to wind this up, What do you think? Have you seen any predictions about what this year's weather is supposed to be for a growing season?
I haven't really looked that far ahead. I mean, you probably were chuckling when I was like, I'm talking about vegetables in March, I think. But it gets to be where my calendar is like, okay, I can see 2 weeks out at a time. I just need to get it in bite-sized chunks.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, anything in agriculture, you just have to deal with what the weather gives you, and it's hard to predict that. And so you have to be prepared for whichever way she blows.
Yeah. Now, what about the mushrooms? We were talking about that before we came on the air.
Oh, yeah.
Mushrooms. And I was telling you how Penny has this propensity to try to eat anything in the ground, and she's developed quite a taste for mushrooms, and they tear her system up, and I've become quite good at spotting them before she gets to them. But what should people know? Because people sometimes think you can go out and just pick these mushrooms and there's no problem.
Yeah, no, it can be very dangerous, and there's a lot of lookalikes that look like edible mushrooms, and so you really need professional training before you try to venture into foraging for mushrooms. There is a course that's offered where you can get certified as a forager for mushrooms, and I really don't recommend anybody try to forage without taking that thorough training. It's not through Clemson. There's a business in the upper part of the state called Mushroom Mountain. They offer them there. They've been certified by the state to offer that training.
Wow.
And so
well, I had heard about in California, I think it was called deadhead mushrooms or something. They look like, I don't know, whatever mushrooms that you think would be okay, and they're deadly.
yeah.
And that's why, and plus Penny with her propensity for being able to pull up a mushroom and nothing flat out there in the yard. It just makes you worry about it.
Yeah, it can be very easy to misidentify a mushroom. There's very specific details that you need to look at: spores, spore color, gills, gill type, gill attachment. And
By the
if
time
you don't
you've
know
done all that, you don't want to even eat the
I
mushroom.
was say if you don't know those terms, and chances are that it's not safe, whatever you're trying to do. So there are, though, you can purchase like home mushroom kits. You can grow your own mushrooms at home, that kind of thing. So if you're really interested in that, I do recommend that. That would be good. You can even buy kits where you can grow your own, or inoculum where you can grow your own shiitake mushrooms, in logs outside and that sort of thing. So those are safer ways to get into it for sure.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, we have been talking with Stephanie Turner here. She is a horticulturist. We've got some good programs coming up. Let's just go through what's coming up, because we covered a lot of ground here as we get finishing up what's coming up this Thursday.
Okay, so this Thursday night at 7 o'clock at Rock Presbyterian Church is Jenks Farmer, Plantsman.
Is that really his name?
Yes, that's his name.
That sounds like a side name here, like a pseudonym or something. Jenks Farmer.
Plantsman, author, humorist. It'll be a good presentation. So that's free, but just RSVP, if you will, lakelandsmastergardeners@gmail.com. And then next Thursday, you can contact Greenwood County Library to register for How to Grow Fruit at Home with me. We'll talk about that at noon to 1 at the library, and that's also free.
And that's going to be things that you can grow easily, right?
Yes. Easier things to try to grow, fruits that are easier to grow for home gardeners. Yeah. And then we have Clemson Horticulture. If you look at Eventbrite, you can find Clemson Extension Horticulture, and all of our programs are now being funneled through there. And so you can find home horticulture foundations there on Eventbrite. And we have lawns and landscape, and then we also have edibles and orchard. So both of those home horticulture foundation courses are online video series that you can check out that way. And then our Lunch and Learn calendar is on the Facebook page, Greenwood Cooperative Extension Facebook page. And so March 3rd is our next Lunch and Learn at our office, again free. There's no registration required for that one.
Now, what do you mean by Lunch and Learn? You
bring your own lunch if you want to.
Okay.
Not many people do.
Okay.
But it was born of the, people are busy. They don't really come out at night to programs. So maybe we stick one in at lunchtime. Folks that are working can go. Folks that are retired can go. So
Bring a snack or a drink.
Bring a snack or drink if you want. Bring your lunch if you want. There are tables you could sit at and eat your lunch, but you don't have to. So, yeah.
Okay. And that one is Go Wild, Not Weedy.
Yeah, Go Wild, Not Weedy. So she'll be talking about starting a meadow. Lots of people are trying to think about reducing lawns, right? I don't want to mow this lawn all the time, or I want a habitat that it just encourages butterflies and insects and bees. So the meadow concept has been very popular, but it's not terribly easy. So she'll be teaching some tips and tricks about how she's accomplished it.
So you're saying you can't just throw some seed out there and it just grow, right?
No, unfortunately, because we have what we call a weed seed bed, right?
Right.
In our soils, and so those species are well adapted and come up fast. And so sometimes when you just throw a wildflower seed mix out there, they outcompete what you've wanted to put out.
So that idea of just throwing seed out there, that's why I've looked at that backyard and I've thought, well, we could do this over here. It's not really going to work that well. Is that what you're telling me?
It can be difficult, yeah.
It's difficult. Okay. All right. So that's coming up on the 3rd, and then on the 7th, Rooted in the South, the Beauty and Benefits of Native Plants.
Right. So April 7th will be an unusual lunch and learn because we're actually going to have a panel. And so it'll be 4 of us speaking and sort of chatting, answering questions from the folks that attend and talking amongst ourselves. So it'll be more of a informal lunch and learn. But we'll be talking about native plants. And so Dana Gonzalez, she's taking the Master Naturalist program. So she's got a lot of experience, and I don't know if you know her, she's an artist. So she actually draws a lot of the things that she visits and sees, and so she's very interested in wildflowers, spring ephemerals, and things like that as well. And so then Ann Barklow, myself, and then Master Gardener Ray Johnson. So we'll all be just talking about native plants, ones that we like, maybe how you can incorporate them in your landscape, and other questions people might have about native plants and gardening with them, that kind of thing.
What's the number one native plant?
The number one.
Well, is there one particular that people gravitate to, or?
Oh, that's a good question. I'm trying to think. What is the poster child
for native?
Maybe
plants?
Black-eyed Susan.
Really? Is that
for
a South
perennial?
Carolina? Yeah.
Black-eyed Susans. They're a good perennial native. I'm trying to think what else is like dogwood trees are native.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, that's why I don't know what's actually
Yeah.
native, right?
Yeah. We put so much in our gardens that we don't know where they come from. We really do.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, but also redbud, that spring flowering trees, those are native. I'm trying to think shrubs that are good natives.
Poison ivy.
Yeah.
That's native, Ann. Yeah, okay.
Lovely poison ivy.
Yeah. Well, this has been really great to sit down and talk. We need to have you back when we can talk about as people start getting out, and maybe some of the things that they can do to try to get off on the right foot.
Okay. Yeah.
Other than the soil sample, but it's like poison ivy. Like how do you get rid of some of this stuff?
Yeah. All these invasive vines are difficult. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So, and maybe some tips along that way that we can coordinate in here with what you have going on. Well, we have been here today with That's right. If you're listening on the radio, you are on WCRS 98.5 FM, 1450 AM, right here in Greenwood. We have been talking with Stephanie Turner. She is a horticultural agent with the Greenwood County Extension Office with Clemson University. It is so great to have you here with us today, Stephanie.
Well, thanks again for having me. It's always fun.
Yeah, absolutely. there is so much going on, in our whole community. There is so much going on. It's really hard to keep up, isn't it?
It really is. Yeah.
So-
Yeah. Sometimes I see things after the fact, like on Facebook or somewhere. I think, oh, I missed that. You know?
Right, exactly. So follow their page. What's your Facebook page?
Greenwood Cooperative Extension.
And then they also have a great website to be able to follow or to look stuff up on.
hgic.clemson.edu.
That's right. And we are very blessed to have that cooperation between Clemson and to have an office right here. Make sure you do go out and get a soil sample. If you haven't done it in 2 or 3 years, why not take the time to do it, right?
Yeah, it's the most valuable thing you can do for your garden for sure.
Absolutely. Well, that is going to do it for us. Stephanie, thanks so much for coming out today.
Of course, anytime. Thank you.
All right, this is WCRS right here in Greenwood. Drop the curtain and cue the music. Bye-bye, everybody. I'll be back in the morning. Take it away.